1.5 million refugees, George, and as you look at a map of that region, they are essentially surrounded by a growing Islamic State. They are still, we're told, the only Arab nation still dropping bombs in Syria. We had this larger coalition that was doing it, but now they're left with the U.S. and second on the bombing runs behind the U.S.
Well, if Charles is right, then, and he may well be about the inadvisability of letting Jordan get into this, then we have to rethink our idea of what asymmetric warfare is doing in the Middle East. What's the point of all these military forces? According to the CIA, there are now about 31,000 Islamic State fighters. The Jordanian army consists of 110,000 what they call active frontline personnel. They have 1,300 tanks. They have 4,600 armored fighting vehicles, 116 fixed-wing aircrafts. What are their militaries for?
The Jordanian army is a Bedouin army, and the Bedouins are a minority in Jordan, overwhelmingly Palestinian who are ambivalent, and now Syrian and Iraqi. Jordan is not going to be the instrument that's going to liberate Syria. If there is going to be one, it'll either be the United States or Turkey. Turkey is a serious country with a serious military. It isn't a construction, which Jordan is. It's a real country.
Well,
and getting Turkey in should have been our objective, and we have not succeeded in doing that, and that's the failure of our diplomacy.
You are going to have a coalition meeting at some point of these countries to deal with this. It seems like it's a bit delayed here, perhaps because of the Saudi king and the transition there. But let me ask you about Congress. Are they going to move forward? I mean, Senator Corker says they're going to have an AUMF, Authorization of Military Force, but the administration seems to be dragging its feet.
Well, they need an AUMF. Everybody says they want one. The administration wants one. Congress wants one. They've got to pass this thing. They're going forward without it, but Congress should do its duty and pass one and work it out with the administration. I don't see, of all the things that are on Congress's plate, this one should not be that difficult.
But it really falls to presidents to say what they want to authorize force against. Roosevelt didn't go before Congress after Pearl Harbor and say, I want to declare war, you guys decide on whom. He said, this is the day of infamy, we're going to do the following.
Do you think they don't know?
I'm not sure. It's very difficult to write that authorization of military force because we don't know all the places where we're going to wind up fighting the Islamic State, including the failed state of Libya, which is a product of our own policy.
That's why I think we ought to revise and to bring back the anachronism of actually declaring war. If we say only Iraq and Syria, you're right. There's ISIS in other places. It's not going to be allowed to go after ISIS. The idea, I think, is to declare war as we used to do 70 years ago and say ISIS, Islamic State, and that means against a certain entity anywhere it is. And it gives you all kinds of rights as a belligerent that you wouldn't otherwise have. Why not do it that way and revive the constitutional way of doing it?